get into it. Get into it. We're gonna get into it. Okay, so everybody, all right. This training, I will be going over how to overcome late night cravings because late night cravings are something that if you do not overcome, then I'll tell you in this, you'll learn more about it in this live right here, okay, or this training. So, 5 ways to overcome late night cravings. No more lapsing on your diet. If you guys, so late night cravings is one of those things, you guys, where if you don't overcome that, right, it will cause a lot, and I mean a lot of lapses in your fitness journey, and it will cause a lot of plateaus. It will cause a lot of results not gotten. I want you guys to write in the comments, right? What do you guys think, right? Is like when it comes to cravings, right? What do you guys think? And just let me know in the comments. There's no, well, there is wrong answers, but like just tell me your answer right now. Like, what do you think that, like cravings, like what can they cause? Like what can having a craving or having multiple cravings throughout the week, what can it do to your results specifically, right? And in this training, I will tell you exactly why, right? Trainings are going to stop your results. And then also I will tell you 5 ways to overcome your late night cravings moving forward. Okay. So let's dive into it. Okay. So I want you guys to, like, before I can even give you guys an assessment on how to get over it, you have to know why you have the cravings in the first place, right? A lot of the reasons why you guys are having cravings is because you are stressed and anxious after a long day. Okay. Your body is missing certain nutrients that you have failed to give it. Your body's actually thirsty, but you mistaked it for being hungry, right? Sleep deprivation and then boredom. You must determine and assess the difference between having an emotional craving, instant gratification, versus a physical craving, which is actual hunger. All right, write it down in the comments. Know the difference between between hunger and cravings. Know the difference between actually being hungry and a craving. Actually know the difference between being hungry and a craving. All right, because if you are stressed and okay, now I'm gonna break it down a little bit more for you guys. I'm gonna break down each point after a long day. So, and I really want you guys to, I'm really going to paint the picture for you guys right now. Okay. After a long day of work, right? You just worked 8, 10 hours, right? You probably barely ate after a long day, right? Your boss was giving you shit, maybe the clients and stuff that you were working with, or the customers that you're working with, they probably gave you a little bit of shit. So after a long day of work, what are you? What are you? Stressed, right? You're probably, the bills are probably coming up and you're anxious a little bit about that, right? So that means you have to work a little bit more extra hours. So now you're anxious, right? So what usually happens then, right? What usually happens then? Stress. And what does stress trigger? Write it down in the comments. What does stress trigger? What does stress trigger? Stress triggers a craving, right? Your body is missing certain nutrients that you have failed to give it, right? Throughout the day, when you were working, you probably neglected lunch. You probably worked through your lunch. So you didn't eat anything. So now after a long day at work, after you done worked for 8 to 10 hours, now you're hungry, right? So now you're driving home, and you see that McDonald's right there. Oh shit, like I am hungry. I need something quick. Let me go to this McDonald's. Oh shit, you driving home, you need something quick, you are hungry as hell because you haven't eaten nothing all day. Oh, let me go to this Burger King or this Wendy's or this Chick-fil-A, whatever the case may be. Anything that's close to on the way home, right? All because throughout the day you missed giving your body certain nutrients that it needed. You neglected yourself, right? You went and you went and ate something on the way home, right? That wasn't good for you. How many of you guys have done that? Drop a 100 sign. Your body is actually thirsty, but you mistaked it for being hungry. It's very common, right? Because a lot of people, like that whole day that you've been working, right? You probably were drinking. I mean, you probably were not eating. You probably were barely drinking stuff. So, or maybe you did eat, right? But you didn't drink anything for real. It's very, because your body doesn't know the difference between being thirsty and being hungry. So what can actually happen is when you actually are having a craving or you're actually hungry, you might actually just be thirsty. Okay. Sleep deprivation, right? Sleep deprivation can cause stress. So if you're not sleeping good, it'll cause you to be stressed out, right? And if you're stressed out, it will strike what? A craving. Boredom. It's very, 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 very easy after a long day. The reason why people get the reason why people get very why people have cravings late at night is because they just get bored after a long day. Like during the day you don't have time to be thinking, oh, I'm bored, or I'm bored. You're doing stuff all day. But then at night, right, then at night when you're yeah, at night you're not doing anything, so it's very easy for you to be like, oh shit, okay, damn, I'm bored. All right, shit, that Reese cup is in the cabinet. Oh, that Rice Krispie treat is in the cabinet. Oh, that piece of cake is in the cabinet. Let me just eat that because I'm bored. Filling an emotional need rather than a physical need. Okay, so you must know the difference between an emotional craving, right? Trying to get that instant gratification of curing boredom, curing stress, anxiety, versus the physical craving of hunger. And we will talk more about this. I will have more trainings telling you guys more about the difference between a physical craving, right, and an emotional craving and how to overcome it. All right, this won't be our last training on it. All right. Number two. All right. Well, not number two, but how can you stop? How can this stop you from seeing progress? How can cravings, how can you, after a long day of work, right, just going into the cabinet and just eating a little bit of those sugary snacks that you like, right? You probably thinking, what's the harm of that, right? What's the harm of that? Now, how can doing this stop you from seeing progress? Overeating healthy foods can cause weight gain. The extra sugar that you're eating late at night that you feel like that doesn't matter, it can cause weight gain, right? It can cause impulse eating, right? And you wanting to overeat bad foods rather than the foods that you're supposed to be eating. Because you guys don't understand this, that when you guys start overeating, right? When you guys start overeating certain foods such as sugar and fast food, it gets addicting. How many guys have noticed that? Like once you start on a roller coaster of eating what is it? When you start on a roller coaster of eating sugar and fast food, it seems like you can't break the cycle. That's because there's certain chemicals they put in sugar, right? And in fast food that makes it very addicting and makes it very unfulfilling so that you come back for more. They do that on purpose, right? So now you're in a like now every time you're hungry, your body is craving this fast food. That's why it's very hard to break it. That's why like even though McDonald's is not the best place for you to be eating, people still come back to it because that's what they crave, and there's one on every single corner. So it's like you can't even get away from it even if you wanted to, right? Cravings can cause overeating, put you in a spiral circle of consistently eating bad foods rather than the foods needed to better your health. This just say health right here. It's my bad for the grammatical error. But here's how we can fix it. All right, here's how we can fix you from having late night cravings every other day or every other week. All right. Pinpoint when you usually have cravings. Do you have cravings late at night? Now, if you guys are watching this right now, you're probably more than likely having the craving late at night rather than in the morning. But for those that are working like third shift, right, you guys probably are having cravings in the morning. Maybe, I don't know. But just pinpoint it because everybody's different. Maybe people don't have cravings late at night. Maybe you have a craving in the middle of the day, like during lunchtime. Maybe you're craving something during lunchtime. I don't know. But you have to pinpoint when you have cravings. Is it late at night? Do you usually have it early in the morning? And what I want you to do is I want you to write it down in the comments right now. When do you usually have your cravings? In the morning or at night? Write it down in the comments. All right, write it down. By pinpointing exactly when your cravings are, you can make a plan to overcome your cravings, and figure out what's causing you to have cravings during this time. Is it stress? Is it boredom? Is it anxiety? And I want you guys to write that down in the comments. During that time, like whatever it is, all right? If it's at night, middle of the day, early in the morning, whenever it is, maybe you have anxiety of just going into your job, right? So maybe you have anxiety for just going into your job, and what happens is when you have anxiety just to go into your job, right? You're going to probably eat maybe a blueberry muffin in the morning, right? Which is like because you want that instant gratification of, oh, I need something to calm me down because my job is so stressful. I just need something to calm me down. I don't know, right? It's all different based on who you are, right? But with that being said, do you have cravings late at night or in the morning? And then what usually causes that? Is it boredom, anxiety, stress? Write it down in the comments. I want to see it. I want to see it. Okay. Number two, have protein in every meal you eat. From the data, more than 60% of the people who endure cravings fail to hit their protein intake or fail to nourish their body properly throughout the day due to the data. All right. Eat 30 to 40 grams of protein each meal. This will ensure that you are indeed not hungry. This is 100% a craving that you are having. All right. If you guys have 30 to 40 grams of protein every single meal that you eat, and every single thing that you put in your mouth has protein in it, this will be a great indication and a great sign to tell you that, hey, hey, man, look, this isn't a me being hungry thing. This is a me trying to fulfill emotional need thing. Okay. So that's why having protein in every single meal, breaking it down needs to be done. Look back at your protein intake and notice the days you lapsed on your diet. Notice that the days that you lapsed on your diet was when your protein intake was down too. I guarantee you, I can bet you guys money, the day that you lapsed on your diet, the day that you didn't like the day that you didn't the day that you lapsed on your diet, or the day that you fell into cravings, was the day that you also didn't hit your protein intake. Was the day that you probably spent the whole day and you didn't eat the whole entire day. I guarantee you. It always correlates. You probably spent the whole day, right? So busy with work that you actually forgot to eat, right? Or you ate some bullshit, right? And you didn't hit your protein intake. So then later on that night, you're starving, and then you just ate everything in the cabinet, right? Number three, avoid getting extremely hungry. Write this down in the comments, you guys. Write this down in the comments. Getting very hungry is one of the main reasons we experience hunger. Lots of men neglect eating throughout the day because they are busy, so they forget to eat. This will cause you to get really hungry. Then that drive home, you will see something quick, which will never be good or healthy to eat. I guarantee you. If you're hungry, and you guys look, I can attest, right? If I get super hungry, right, and I'm driving home, all you see is fast food places, restaurants to eat at, all this kind of stuff. So you think that you're going to tell me that you're going to wait till you get home to make some to like, and especially if you don't have your meals prepped. So you're going to wait until you go all the way home, right? Cook the food that you have to cook if it's not prepped to eat something when you've just worked 8 to 10 hours. No, you're exhausted. No, you've been stressed the whole day. You want something instant and quick. You don't want to come home right after a long day of doing your job, right? And go cook something because that's more work. So avoid getting extremely hungry throughout the day. Have the on the go protein options that I do place here in the app. Start eating those throughout the day so that you don't have cravings. Start taking the frozen meals to work with you and eat those throughout the day. Drink a lots of water throughout the day so that we can avoid these cravings. You guys can ultimately get the results that you want. If you work 8 to 10 hours a day, you need to eat during your shift. If you do not, then you will develop hunger pains and late night cravings. I guarantee you guys that you will. Okay? If you aren't already. Number 4, drink a half a gallon of water. Lots of time last time you think you are hungry, you may indeed be thirsty. So drink water when you feel a craving. It may totally extinguish that craving you have. Drink 3 to 4 20-ounce water bottles a day at least. Again, like I told you guys before, you probably are not really hungry. You're probably just thirsty. So in this next slide, I'm going to give you my 4-step process, right, on what to do when you're instantly hit with a craving. Do this 4-step process every time you have a craving. The first thing that you do when you notice that you're craving something super hard, this is the first thing that I want you to do. I want you to bang a 20 ounce of water immediately. I want you to do that immediately. Immediately, right? Number 2, eat some type of protein bar or protein source. Eat some type of protein bar or protein source. What is that going to be? Right? Like you can have, the chicken breast, you can have the salmon, whatever you want. And whatever we have a whole bunch of protein, high protein options here in the app for you to pick from. Just pick one of those options, eat that, but eat a protein bar. Drink water, eat some protein, right? Still having a craving? Breathe in deeply, like do deep breath work or listen to a motivational speaking, right? Something that calms you down. Maybe it's not a motivational speaking. Maybe it's a song that soothes you, right? And then go for a walk or do push-ups until failure. That's why burpees work so well, right? Because if you go until failure, your body cannot focus on both things at the same time. Like if you're working out, it can't want the food, right? It can't want the food and you be exhausted at the same time, right? It can't. And then exercising will show you if it's a physical, like a physical hungry thing, like I'm actually physically hungry, right? Or was it just like an emotional thing for me? Because exercising cures anxiety and depression. Write it down in the comments. Exercise cures anxiety, depression, because there's not enough blood oxidation in the body for you to be anxious be anxious and depressed while you work out. It's literally impossible. It's impossible. There's no way that you can be anxious and depressed while you're whooping your ass with a workout. There's no way. That's why the gym is such a great way to alleviate stress and increase your mood. Great way. That's why I do it every day. Great way. If you are still hungry, right? But let's say you do all that. Let's say you drink the water, you eat some type of protein, you breathe in deeply, you go for that walk and do some push-ups until failure, right? And you're still hungry. If you're still hungry, right, and you still have that craving, you're actually hungry. So have a prepped meal or have some healthy food. If you notice that after doing this, you still have that craving or you are itching for it, then you understand that it is emotional craving or instant gratification. This is not a physical need or hunger. When you are experiencing craving, do not act immediately. Do this step first. Do this 4-step process every time you're hit with a craving. Every time. Because then this process will filter out whether you're physically hungry, right? Like actually hungry, like your body needs food, right? Or it will filter out whether this is just you just needing like some instant gratification. That's all it's going to do. All right. So that's how you guys are going to overcome this. Like, and I can write this down and I can have this guy. I can put this in the group chat for you guys so that you can always do it. But this needs to be your 4-step process. Every time you're stressed out and you want to do that and you want to have a crate and you want to have some bad food, but you know you can't have it, right? Because you're low on calories. You need to do this every fucking time. You need to do this every time. This 4-step process, right, will filter out whether you're actually physically hungry or you're just trying to fulfill an emotional need. Okay. So hopefully that helped you guys out. If you guys watch this on replay, right, come live so that you guys can ask me any questions, talk about any concerns or anything about that. And if you guys watch this live, drop your takeaways, right, in the comments, right, or drop it in our Facebook group. All right. Let me see.